Hello everyone and welcome back to another reading vlog. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but I'm very excited for this one because I'm reading 3 really anticipated books that are coming out this year that I'm very excited about. But first, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's video is so kindly sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even text chats with your therapist, all from the comfort of your very own home. If you're interested in getting therapy, it's super easy with BetterHelp. All you have to do is go online and fill out their questionnaire, and it basically asks what you're looking for to get out of therapy, things like that. The questionnaire is super easy and it helps you match with a therapist. After that, they will match you with a therapist, and from there you'll schedule your consultation with your therapist. You can do a video chat, you can do text chat, whatever you may do. And in case you're not feeling your therapist, because sometimes that happens, sometimes you and your therapist just don't jive, you can switch to a different therapist through BetterHelp with no additional cost at all. I always recommend therapy. I think it is an amazing thing, and I struggle from anxiety. I've told you guys that several times. I do have a medication for it that helps me out with it, but it's always good for therapy. It's always good to talk to somebody. If you feel like maybe you're not your best self and you need to talk to a professional, I always recommend doing that, because you need to be your best self in order to be your best self around other people. If you're not your best self, then it's just really hindering yourself in the relationships in your life. So therapy is always a great thing to do. I will always recommend it. There is no shame in it whatsoever. I know there's a lot of stigma behind therapy. I think it's getting more accepted nowadays, which is amazing because it is super, super beneficial. Take it from me. And yeah, I highly recommend checking out BetterHelp. So all you have to do is follow the link down below, and you can get your first month at BetterHelp for 10% off. So if you've been thinking about it for a while to get a therapist, go ahead and do it. You will not regret it, because to be your best self is the best thing you could do for yourself and the relationships around you, believe you me. Join the 3 million people plus today that have taken charge of their mental health and experienced a BetterHelp therapist. And I always tell you guys, BetterHelp is doing amazing. They are adding new therapists every single day in different states because they're growing so rapidly, because that's awesome. Said you can join the link down below and get your first month for 10% off, which is awesome. So take charge of your mental health. It is the best thing you could do for yourself, believe you me. So in this reading vlog, however long it shall last, I'm going to attempt to read 3 books. 3 of my really anticipated reads of the whole year come out this month, which I'm super excited about. The first one, of course, it's probably like everyone's most anticipated romance, is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I just got this in the mail from Berkeley, and I am so excited about it. If you don't know, Emily Henry is a very, very popular adult romance author. I have given all of her romance books a 5 out of 5, so here's to hoping about this one. This one's a second chance romance, I believe, about Wynne and Harriet, and I literally just started it last night. I think I'm like 3 chapters in. And then we have a thriller that I'm very excited about, and that is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. And usually I'm not the biggest Taylor Adams fan. I have read one of his books, Hairpin Bridge. It was okay. And then I DNF No Exit. I know, that's like his most popular one. But the plot of this one just sounds so amazing. It's about a book, it's about a person that reads a book, a horror book, and she doesn't like it, so she reads a scathing review, and then she thinks maybe the author might be stalking her. So that just sounds like every book reviewer's worst nightmare. So it just sounds really good, so I'm very excited for it. And the last one I have on ebook, and that is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. You guys know I have read all of her books, really enjoyed them. There's only been one that I've read that I really haven't liked. That was her very first one, but I'm very excited for this one. This is kind of like a sequel slash spinoff to her last book that came out last year, Part of Your World, about her best friend. I want to say her name is Brianna. I don't know, but either way, I'm very excited for this vlog. It's going to be a busy week, as it always is. I've had a very big lifestyle change. My father has moved in with us somewhat, which is something I never ever thought would ever happen, was never planning to. Sorry if you hear that, it's my child. I don't share too much about it because it's not, you know, too much to know. He pretty much really can't take care of himself. He's not quite, I don't think, nursing home. And just so you know, my dad's still pretty young. It's addiction is all I gotta say. But basically, these past 2 months, my amazing husband and my amazing brother-in-law have been working on like this kind of apartment type of area. Like Matt has so graciously given up half of his like shop area to make like in a little mini apartment for my father. So he's kind of living with us, kind of not. Like he's not in our house at all. Like we have no, but he's still kind of, does that make sense? I'll show some footage of it. But yeah, I have to like, it's pretty much honestly like having 3 kids. If you're a caretaker of a parent, you kind of know. And it's just, it's rocky. I don't have a good relationship with my dad as I do my mother. So it's like that. But either way, that project's finally ended, but this week's still busy. We have Easter and all that stuff, but you know, this week's gonna be typical usual mom life and all that fun stuff, and I'm very excited, and I'm hopeful, honestly, all these books will get 5 out of 5. I'm really hoping that, but as always, we will see. So we'll see you very, very soon. So the weather is getting warmer, which means we use the grill a lot more. So this is an easy recipe. It's like Fiesta lime chicken. I am putting rice down on foil packets because we put this on the grill, like I said. Then after that, you put some black beans, which is a great, you know, thing to do. And after that, I put my chicken that I have been marinated for like 8 hours, like soy sauce, olive oil, lime juice, stuff like that. And then after that, you wrap it all up for like to make a foil packet, obviously. And then you grill it on 10 minutes for each side. And then after that, you open up the full packet and put a little bit of cheese in it, and there you go. It's an easy, delicious, somewhat healthy meal that I would recommend. That is great. Hello everyone, happy Monday. The sun is literally like right there, so it's very bright. Anyway, I want to update you on my progress of Happy Place. I'm officially like 45% of the way in. I'm reading this on ebook, even though I do have physical copy, which is great. I'm on page 180. So I'm like almost halfway through and really enjoying it. And my surprise, not in the slightest. You guys know I have given every single Emily Henry adult romance book a 5 out of 5. And I have to say, this one is just, I really enjoy it. And I didn't know much going into it because Emily Henry's kind of an auto-buy author for me when it comes to her adult romances. So this one follows a character named Harriet, and she and her 2 kind of college best friends that she met when she was in college, obviously, they meet up like every year to go to Maine, I believe, for Lobster Fest. And let me tell you something right now. Every time they say Lobster Fest, I immediately think of the show Bob's Burgers. If you don't know Bob's Burgers, it's a great animated show. I will say I don't watch it anymore really because I feel like it just kind of needs to end. It's kind of run its course. The first like 5 or 6 seasons, pure gold. Anyway, I believe in the very first season, that show takes place like kind of New Jersey, Maine-ish kind of area, and they had Lobster Fest, and the main guy hated lobster, so he had his own thing called Bobster Fest, like Bob Fest, Bobster Fest. And every time I read Lobster Fest, I just think of that episode every single time.
It's me, Bob. Bob. Okay, settle down.
If you're a Bob's Burgers fan, you get it. Anyway, so they go on this trip like it's 1 week every single year. It's kind of a thing. And their friend group has expanded to kind of their love interest. Have a fiance named Wynn, only they broke up like 5 months ago, but none of their friends know it. So she's planning to break the news to them on this trip. But what do you know? Wynn is there. And they get another surprise that, you know, one of her best friends, Sabrina, says, you know, me and my boyfriend Parth are marrying this week because my dad's selling this great house that we stay in every single year for Lobster Fest, Bobster Fest. And they just want to really remember this trip and they want to get married that week. So Harriet and Lynn are like, crap, we cannot tell our best friends that we are broken up because that would just ruin them. It would ruin the vibe of the whole 6 of them. And so they kind of have to like have a ruse that they're still together for this whole week. And this goes back in time. Emily Henry's really known for that. And you get to see how Harriet and Wynne first met, how they got to be a part of the friend group, how they fell in love, and kind of how they fell apart. And I am loving this. I am a huge fan of like really dissecting a relationship, finding out the ebbs and flows of it, what broke it, and what can make it stronger. Enjoying it. Like, we don't, still 50% of the way in, we don't know quite why they have broken up yet. So we're going to get to that. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying seeing them fall in love. I'm enjoying seeing them pretend like a couple, but you can clearly tell that they're in love still, like, obviously. And the friend group is just so much fun. I am really enjoying it. We have Sabrina, who is... We have Sabrina, who's kind of, her dad owns the house, and she's very organized. She's put a whole itinerary out for this whole trip, and everyone's vibing with that. And I feel like every time I read about the itinerary, I feel like that would be the old me. Like, I'm very structured and organized, but ever since I had kids, no, that's not me anymore. I just would love to go on a vacation where I don't have to get up 50 times during a meal to help another child. That would be awesome. Like, have an uninterrupted meal. Perfection. If we did nothing for the whole literal week I went on vacation, I would be totally fine with it.
Being in a quiet room by myself, just sitting in a quiet, air-conditioned room, sitting down, eating my lunch with no one touching me, drinking a Diet Sprite.
If you have kids, you get it. But either way, I'm still enjoying this. I honestly am hoping to finish this tomorrow at some point because I'm just flying through it. I'll update you tomorrow, hopefully, with my finished thoughts on it. But right now, so far, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. And I don't really imagine much changing with that rating. At least, here's to hoping for that. Hello and happy Wednesday. I did not vlog yesterday at all. It was just a busy day. School, therapy, no, I had an appointment, so I was literally going all day. But I am happy to say yesterday I finished Happy Place by Emily Henry, and I don't know if you can guess what my rating on this book is at all. It's 5 out of 5, of course. I am not surprised in the slightest. I have to say, this might be my favorite. I loved it. I think I loved it so much because I resonated with a lot of the themes in this book, because this place... all these characters are in their 30s, and I'm in my 30s. I'm turning 35 this year. And this book is all about friendship and kind of how, you know, friendships kind of grow distant, but they're still very solid, if that makes any sense. Because you have this core group of, because you follow this character, Harriet, and she has 2 best friends she met in college, Sabrina and Cleo, and their friendship has kind of grown, their friend group has kind of grown from there, and they have been tight-knit forever. But this time when they're back to this, like, lobster fest place, they are growing a little bit distant. They haven't talked in a while, and it's really hitting hard for some of them, and oh my gosh, I resonated so much with this book because I'm at that age. Like, I have 2 best friends as well. We met when we were 14, and we have been best friends ever since. We all live in the same city, but we maybe see each other once a month because life gets busy, life gets hectic, your life changes, because that's how life goes. It ebbs and flows. We all have, you know, we have kids now, we have different jobs, we have different responsibilities pulling at us, and it's harder to maintain that friendship, but it's still something you have to work on. And I struggled a lot with that previously, like in past years and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my best friends. Like, we don't talk, we don't see each other, like, and it's just a really hard thing to accept. But I'm at the place now where I'm like, you know, I don't see them as much, but they are my family. You know, you have those friends, like, much like Harriet, like, they're her best friends, but more essentially, they're her family. Like, when we do see each other, we pick up like nothing happened. We all know each other's family members. We don't have to explain who somebody is in our life because they already know. They have been with us from the beginning. So in a way, it's a very strong friendship because we have such strong roots that it's not breakable at all. Like, it's a tree that is fully formed, that nothing's really gonna shake. Branches may fall off from time to time, but that tree is staying rooted and staying firm. And that kind of quintessentially is this book, is these friendships, and they all have different things going on in their life that they haven't told each other because they're just very nervous about how it could affect their friendship, and how it comes to fruition, how they learn that, you know, yes, we're friends, but more essentially we're family, and that's the most important thing. So I loved it for that reason, because I was like, this is literally like a perfect book for me to read because of my age and because of friendships. And the romance in this one, perfection. I love a good second chance romance. It was very sad. It talked a lot about a lot of different things, such as death of a parent, such as depression, such as like also trying to figure out what to do with your life. Like I talked about, like, I resonate a lot with Sabrina, who's kind of the organizer of the friend group that wants everybody to stay together. Like, that's usually me and my friend group, so I really resonate with her. But I also really resonated with Harriet, who is a huge people pleaser. She does not like disappointing people. She's not like telling people no, and I was like, that's something else I'm really working on. So I loved it. 5 out of 5. Could gush about it forever, but I really did love it. So moving on to my next read. So I'm gonna go ahead and tackle both of my last reads at the same time. I have The Last Word by Taylor Adams, my thriller of the week, I guess you could say. I have this in physical form. It takes me a little bit longer to read physical books because ebooks are just easier. So just started Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I'm really excited for that, so I'll update you more as I get into those. Also, I'm rocking my new shirt I just got on Amazon. It says One More Chapter, and it's got a book on it, and I love it. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now, and I'll update you when I have more to say about my current reads. But so far, success on reading, and I'm happy about that.
So I thought I would share this awesome water table my mom got the kids for like an Easter present. So instead of giving them an Easter basket, she just got them this water table, which is awesome. It's the coolest water table. It's got this pump that you can pump water out, and it goes down sides. It can make this rainwater thing. It's great because they can both stand in it. It's got like all these buckets where you can fill, and then they will, you know, come out. And so far, they really like it. It's a big hit, and I know it's gonna be great for the summertime. So I check it out. It seems like a really cool water table for multiple kids.
I don't know about where you live, but I know where I live, it can be 89 degrees one day and the next day 50 and raining. That's exactly what happened. Yesterday was so freaking hot, which was great. I liked it. We were outside a lot. It was awesome. And today, actually for the next 3 days, it's gonna be 50 and raining, which is just like, what? So, surprise! I didn't vlog yesterday. Who's surprised? Nobody's surprised. But I will tell you what is surprising. The fact that Matt and I went out on a date last night. That never happens. When I mean that never happens, I'm talking about it maybe happens once every 3 months, if we're lucky. We only have, like, my mom is childcare, so, and she has a busier social life than I do, but then again, my social life's pretty much non-existent at some points in life, this one being that point in life. So it's kind of hard, and you know, watching both our kids is kind of exhausting, but we were able to go out last night. We actually saw a show. I cannot tell you the last time I saw live music. We actually saw Postmodern Jukebox, which is a YouTube channel that my husband's always been a fan of. He loves music. If you don't know, he's a musician. Plays drums in our church band primarily, but he can play the guitar, he can play the bass, he can play the piano, he played tuba in high school. He's a very well-rounded musician, so he loves music, he loves bands and stuff like that. So Postmodern Jukebox is kind of, they have rotating band members and stuff and singers that they do a lot of current songs, but in old style, like jazz or bluesy, swing, kind of stuff like that. And it was really fun. We had a really great time. It was nice just to, number one, get away from the kids, and number two, listen to live music, because we both love live music. Like, we used to go to concerts all the time, but I can't even tell you the last time I've been to a concert. So this was my first concert in a while, and fingers crossed I can go to another one this summer, because I bought tickets for Counting Crows and Dashboard Confessional. If you don't know, Dashboard Confessional is my all-time favorite band. I loved them in high school, emo girl forever, so I am freaking stoked to see them. But it was a really great time, so I'll insert some clips so you can see how cool it was. My phone camera sucks, so just be forewarned about that.
Power of love, give your whole night. Don't take my hand, don't take fame. You got the fire, fire, fire.
But as you can see, it was a fun time. I really enjoyed it. It was great. Am I tired? Absolutely, because we didn't get home till like 11, which is like, we turn into pumpkins after 10 because we're old. But either way, reading, got some. I'm officially 40% of the way into yours truly, but enjoying it, not surprised at all. It's another book that is really great for my time of life right now because I feel like I'm very in tone with one of the main characters. This one follows the character Brianna, who, if you read her previous book, Part of Your World, was her best friend. So we get a little bit, Abby does that a lot with, she kind of does like spin-offs, if you will, and even she talked about one character that's a singer that was in another previous book that had a very, very small role. So it's just really fun to read books like that and you recognize all the characters. But this one follows Brianna, and Brianna is not at a good point in her life. She is a doctor in a very like trauma 1 ER center. She has just a lot. She's getting divorced here very soon because she found out her husband was cheating on her, and she like did a lot of things for revenge, and girl speaks my language because I be doing the same stuff. She's got that going on, and her younger brother is in kidney failure. He has a very rare blood type, and you also figure out he has an autoimmune disease, and he's in kidney failure, and he really needs a kidney transplant, and he just thinks it's not going to happen. So he's depressed, and she has to have him move in with her and take care of him, and I just am like, I feel you. Like I told you guys, my dad just moved in with us, and it's like having another child. Like it is hard. Like I have to, it's not fun. So I feel for her 100% with just kind of feeling at a low point in your life where you just have all of this stuff and it just feels like it's dragging you down constantly. Either way, there's a new ER doctor that shows up. His name is Jacob, and he's known immediately on the first day as like Dr. Death because the first 7 patients that show up in the ER die, and they're like, oh, he's Dr. Death. And I'm like, well, that's kind of messed up. But either way, Brianna gives him the cold shoulder until she starts to know him, and they start to write letters back and forth. It's kind of like a you got mail thing. And then what do you know? But he is actually a perfect match for her brother's kidney transplant. And he's like, you know what? My mother got a kidney transplant when she was a lot younger, and I always thought I would pay it forward, and now I'm going to pay it forward. So he is going to give her brother a kidney. And with that, he also has a lot of things going on in his life where his ex kind of girlfriend is marrying his younger brother, and he has to act like he's okay with it. So he says he has a girlfriend, but he doesn't. So Brianna's like, yeah, I'll be your fake girlfriend. I'll do whatever you want because you give my brother a kidney. And so that's where I'm kind of at in this book, where we have a lot of different things going on. But you can clearly tell these two are going to be really for each other. They're both very different. Brianna is very outgoing and happy, and Jacob is he has a lot of social anxiety. He doesn't really know how to interact with people, and I really understand that as well. So I'm really enjoying it. I haven't read, there's only been one, Abby Jimenez. I really try with it. There's been only one of Abby's books that I've read that I really did not like, and that was actually her first book ever, but I'm really enjoying it. So I'm hoping to finish this by tomorrow. Really, really am. It is the start of my son's spring break from school, so we'll see about that. I'm gonna be honest with you, haven't even opened this yet, so I'm probably gonna do that when I finish yours truly. But right now I'm really enjoying it. I can clearly see where the plot's gonna go, but I'm liking it. I resonate with the characters, with being a caretaker and how draining that is, and just it's a lot. But either way, you know, it's another busy weekend here because that is our lives. I have a quick wedding to shoot tomorrow. It's for one of my best friend's moms. It's like a very, very short wedding. It's like 20 people. So she asked me to take pictures. I'm like, of course. And then Sunday is Easter, and we're hosting Matt's family, and he's got a big old family. So I have to prepare a lot. So yeah, I thought this vlog was going to be only 1 week long. So I was like, I'll read 3 books in 1 week. You sweet summer child, you. No, you are not. It's probably going to be like a week and a half up to 2 weeks for that. But you know what? We're just going to roll with it. You're going to roll with it, hopefully. And I'll see you when I see you. So I wanted to share with you what I got for my kids' Easter basket, because I know some people go all out. Some people do minimum. I kind of do minimum. So first of all, the baskets, my mom got them last year. So I saved them. So I'm going to use them every year. So Noah's and Autumn. So Noah's, I don't get them candy because honestly, like, kids don't need any more candy. That's just me. So first of all, I got them a couple of these Monster Jam. They're the muddy monster things. They change color, like the dirt comes off. He is a huge fan of like any sort of color change your car, so I just got him a couple of those. I got, this is probably for him and Autumn. These are, I think, from Amazon. It's like the Curious George figurines. He still loves Curious George, and of course, whatever Noah likes, Autumn likes, because that is brother-sister life. So it's got like the man with the yellow hat, George, Hunley, all of them. So it's just fun, something for both of them, honestly, they'll play with. And then most of it is books, because we have a book house. So I got a couple of the Dr. Seuss board books. He already has both of these in the big books, but he loves Dr. Seuss. So I got the Foot Book and ABC. They were on sale at Target, and Autumn likes these a lot too. So again, both of them will really enjoy them. I got him stickers. He loves stickers, so I got him Charlie Brown. There's like a whole bunch of season ones in here. Like these are just regular. They have the Halloween ones, the Christmas ones. He has a whole Ziploc bag full of stickers, so he loves them. And then Super Simple Songs. That is their favorite. Like Autumn loves it, Noah loves it, so they just finally released merch. I've been waiting forever for them to release merch. So this is one of Noah's favorite songs, and this, like, he loves the noodles and pows. So it's just a little board book. It's a good thing for both kids and stuff. You know, you guys know he's autistic, so it's got a mirror. I mean, this is probably targeted more to younger kids. He is 8, but that's okay. Whatever he likes, he likes. And the last thing he got was the super simple, super fun activity and coloring book. So I got this mainly because it's got a lot of pictures in here that he'll really enjoy. And again, a big draw for him is stickers. Like, he loves stickers of his favorite characters, so he will really enjoy these as well. So yeah, that's what he got in his Easter basket. And then they both got some sidewalk chalk for them both to enjoy, because I'll be drawing with that. And she didn't get very much as well. Like, that's, you know, she got Mr. Brown Camus. That's like both of their favorite book. Like, that's Noah's all-time favorite Dr. Seuss book. So I got the board book because ours is falling apart. She got her very first baby doll. I haven't given her one yet because I feel like she's too young, but this one was really inexpensive, and maybe she'll like it. I also feel very creepy holding it. She also got a super simple song board book. This one's Hush Little Baby. She loves super simple songs. That is the one thing, if I put it, like, I don't try to let her watch it, but I let her listen to it a lot. She loves them. She also got another book. I get a lot of books. I buy books more than toys. Baby Love Springs by Karen Katz. This is probably like my 10th Karen Katz book, because we love Karen Katz. And the last thing she got was just these little finger puppets I could put in the bath for her to play with, or just whatever. And that's their Easter basket. So yeah, that's their Easter basket. I did get more for Noah. It is easier buying more stuff. With her, I get little toys, but she mostly likes books and stuff. And whatever Noah likes, she will like. And then the sidewalk chalk they share. Actually, a lot of these they will share. So yeah, that's what I got for Easter. I feel weird about this creepy baby just staring at me, but just so you know, you don't have to go all out. You really don't. I just got stuff that I know they'll play with for a long time, not just candy and stuff like that, and books, you know, and sidewalk chalk. You get what I'm saying.
Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. Oh, yesterday was a busy day. I did a quick wedding for one of my best friend's mom. It was a very, very small wedding, like 20 people. And it was just nice that she asked me to take pictures. And, you know, I feel like I kind of included with the family, which was so sweet. I'm not gonna lie to you, I messed up my back yesterday. I guess when you get to mid-30s, you never know when your back is going to give out. It happens to my husband somewhat frequently, and this is the first time, like, I've injured my back, so it is, it hurts pretty bad. Anyway, trying to work through the pain because today is Easter, and I am hosting Matt's entire family, which is like 20 plus people in a few hours. So I have to cook a lot of different things, cooking a ham, making ham biscuits, all this other stuff. It's like kind of a potluck, so his other siblings will bring some stuff, but it's, you know, when you host a lot of people at your house, you gotta make sure it's clean and all that stuff. And yeah, if my back hurts, it's it's not fun. But anyway, I did finish last night, yours truly. But I have to say, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't a 5-star for me. I did feel like it lagged just a teensy bit, but it was a 4-star. So I ended up really enjoying it. I told you guys what it was about, Brianna and Jacob, and basically how they fake a relationship. He's gonna be a kidney donor to her brother, and basically a lot of the book is miscommunication. These two characters are so clearly in love with each other, but she thinks he's in love with his ex, and he thinks that there's just no way she could love him, and it's just like they didn't talk to, like, you know, about it to like the 85% of the mark of the book, and I was like, and then after that, it was hard. Brianna has been through a lot of really difficult things in her life. She is recently going through a divorce, and her
divorce is pretty brutal because her ex-husband cheated on her with one of her good friends for a long time. Not only that, but she had a dad when her mom was pregnant with her brother. The dad left, so she's never had like a father figure, a man stay in her life, and she has a lot of trauma from that, understandably. So she has a really hard time trusting Jacob. So they talked about that a lot in the book, and about how love shows up, and I really like the theme of that. How just love is different in every relationship, but love shows up. Love's there. Like if you're in love with someone and want to commit and spend the rest of your life with them, you are there for them through thick and thin. And I'm happy to say that I have a marriage that's very much like that. Like I know without a shadow of a doubt my husband will be there for me through thick and thin. We've already been through a lot. We're going to go through much more in our marriage, and vice versa. I will be there for him always. And that's kind of a very strong foundation to build upon, but it's a hard time getting there because Brianna has a lot of trust issues, understandably so, because of her last relationship. So we all saw that Jacob was an amazing character that will definitely show up. His love will always show up, but she has a hard time believing that because of her past. So it's a lot about that. It was really great. It was about her being a caretaker and her feeling like she just is kind of an empty shell of a person, which I also understand because I'm a caretaker, and I just really enjoyed it. Overall, I would give it a 4 out of 5. My favorite book still to this day by her is my Happy Ever After playlist. I love that one, but I love Abby's books because they're always a great romance, but with a lot of depth and realness to them, which I really, really enjoy. I love seeing Jacob's family. I love getting to see Brianna's family and her friendship with Alexis, who was in the last book, and it was just a great book. So this vlog is obviously longer than a week. I'm not surprised because I'm starting my last book, The Last Word by Taylor Adams. This book is, this got kind of messed up. It's very short. It's only like 330 pages, so hopefully I can finish this here in the next few days. That's my update for now. My camera battery is flashing. I have to go finish prepping everything for the event today, and I'll see you when I see you, and hopefully my back feels better because this is gonna be really sucky to get up here from the floor in a second. So apologies, I am not wearing a lick of makeup. My hair is clean. I just washed it, but it's just, you know, bleh. So, you know, this is just real life. I'm not like going anywhere today, so I'm gonna look. I do want to do a very quick update on The Last Word by Taylor Adams. I am on page, I forgot what page I'm on. Page 50, and this book. So I wanted to read this book because the plot sounds so interesting. I've read one Taylor Adams book before that was Hairpin Bridge. I did DNF, no accent. I just didn't find it interesting, but this one, the plot sounds so amazing. So in this book, we have a character named Emma, and the book immediately starts, it's not spoiling anything, with her finishing reading an ebook. It was a horror ebook. She read it and she hated it. We've all been there, and she was just like, this was just a horrible book. And of course, you know, when you read the book at the very end, Amazon's always like, do you want to leave a review? And she's like, you know what, I gotta do, because this book doesn't have any reviews, and she didn't like it so much that she wants to kind of warn other readers against it. So she writes a really scathing review, and mind you, this is a horror book that she's reviewing. It's all about, like, from the serial killer's point of view of when he kills, that's not spoiling anything either, 2 characters in the middle of the woods, so it's already like kind of a scary book. So she leaves a really bad review, you know, goes about her day. Next thing you know, she checks her phone. She got a comment back on a review by the author, and the author's like, hey, thanks for reviewing, but you know, like, I'm trying to make a living by this, and your 1-star review does really not help me, so could you remove it, please? And so Emma replies back, she's like, here, I'm gonna try to read you exactly what happens. She's like, you know what, no, because, you know, everyone's got the right to their opinion, which of course they do, and she is not gonna remove it because, you know, her opinion is valid, and, you know, she can write what she wants, you know, positive or negative. And so then the author, then they got in a conversation of like, you know, like he's like, the author's like, I spent 6 months writing Murder Mountain, the book she finished, and she's like, I implore you, and the author's like, I implore you, please take down your review. And Emma's like, no, good luck with everything, I'm not taking down my review. And then the author says this, like, in the book, actually, it says, I won't ask you again. And Emma just says, okay. And I'm like, but first of all, so many red flags. if you're a book reviewer, I think it's kind of a very commonly known fact to never tag authors in a bad review, whether it be Instagram, on YouTube. Share your 1-star reviews, that's totally fine, but tagging the author in them is not the best thing to do. Now, I guess she did not tag the author, so she's totally warranted in this, but you know, it's just kind of a rule of thumb. Second of all, it's very rare that authors will usually, especially with bad reviews, converse back and actually get into an online debate. And the fact that the author's like, I won't ask you again, like, it's just like, oh, the author's gonna come kill her now. And of course, right after this happens, Emma starts noticing weird things because she's house sitting at this old beach house and her neighbor's like a quarter of a mile away and she's alone and she sees this man at night, and it's just like, this cannot be a coincidence. And it's just, the only person she knows is a neighbor that lives a quarter of a mile away that actually recommended to her this book. So I can feel like I can see where this is going. I mean, I might be right, I mean, might be not, but either way, I mean, is the author going to come kill her? I don't know. I've heard that this is very elaborate, you know, suspend your disbelief, but let me just say right now, if the author was like, I won't ask you again, I would take that down. And second of all, in this book, not even 50 pages in, you know, her motion sensor light goes off outside and she thinks she sees something, but she doesn't see anything. Next thing you know, she gets a text from the landlord, the person that owns this house that she is like house sitting for, like, I saw this on my Ring doorbell, and it was like this guy in a creepy scary mask right outside the door, and it's like he was waiting for her to open the door, and she still doesn't leave. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? I don't know. I do not know. But either way, I'm having a good time. We'll have to see how this is gonna wrap up. I don't know. Emma's got some trauma in her life, so she's already kind of a unreliable narrator, and I don't know. But it's interesting so far, so I'll keep you updated.
So tonight's dinner is an interesting one. It's like a fajita stuffed like chicken. So basically I cut up peppers, I cut up onion, and then after that I kind of, I cook them obviously in a fajita seasoning. And then after that I just kind of cut a chicken breast open, like kind of, and stuff like the peppers and the cheese. I put pepper jack cheese and the onions, and then I kind of cooked them. And I'll be honest, it was messy. Like you had to hold it with toothpicks and stuff. It was quite messy. There was some yellow rice, and yes, it looks not appetizing, but it was delicious. Would recommend.
Hello everyone, it's been a few days, but I am here to tell you my final thoughts on The Last Word by Taylor Adams. So I told you what this book was about. It's about a character named Emma who is kind of house sitting this beach house in the winter months for this woman, and it's a very kind of desolate beach where like her neighbor is literally like a quarter of a mile away. They communicate like through the whiteboards in their living room, like they'll play hangman and stuff. And Emma, the very beginning of the book, Emma reads this really bad horror book and she leaves a review, and it's not a good review, which by the way, I've been harping on her for like tagging the author, but she does not tag the author. Like she just literally leaves a review on Amazon and then the author sees it and comments back. So she really didn't do anything wrong. Like I've always been like, whenever I talk about this book, like don't tag an author in a bad review, which I still stand by. But this is totally really unwarranted because, you know, she left a review, which is totally okay either way, but she didn't even tag the author and the author still came after her. So anyway, so she leaves a bad review. Her and the author get into a kind of fight, and then she starts to notice some weird things around the house, and there you go. That's where I left you. So I finished the book, and I have to say I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. This is a typical Taylor Adams book. This being my third one, I did DNF one, his most popular one, No Exit. I read Hairpin Bridge. Taylor Adams definitely has a style of thriller books taking place in one night. This is the third book I've read where he's kind of done that, so I guess it's kind of his niche, which is no problem at all. I have learned that I am not the biggest fan of that. I just don't do well when books take place in one day. There have been a few that I've really enjoyed that are like that, but for the majority of the time I don't usually jive well with that, and this one is one that I didn't really jive well with. So I didn't think it was going to take place during one day because the first like 70 pages is kind of elongated throughout the days, but then when we get to the main bulk of the plot, this much so takes place all in one night. In fact, the whole thing, I would say from starting from chapter 7 around like page 74 is when the book takes place all in one night, because the intruder finally makes finally makes themselves known. You probably can guess it's the author, but it's much more twisted than that. And yeah, it was okay. I didn't like that it took place in one night. It definitely read like a horror movie, I will say that, which I did enjoy. There were a lot of twists and turns. There was some final plot twists that I wasn't the really biggest fan of. And also, this book, Emma is dealing with a lot of trauma. First of all, you think it's going one way with her trauma of what she's dealing with, and the end really surprised you with it's totally different kind of trauma, which I did not like at all. I did not like the way that was revealed, and I didn't like how it was all like finalized. I did not like that. I don't really like using trauma as a plot device. I don't really think this book necessarily did that 100%, but it was in there. So basically the whole book takes place in one night. Emma is trying to escape this author that is literally coming after her because of a bad review. And if you're like, what the crap, you know, me too. And overall, like I said, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I just don't think Taylor Adams books are for me. And oh my gosh, let me just preface by saying this, Taylor Adams, if you're watching, please don't come after and kill me like this book, please. Like, he's probably like, crap, I'm writing this book, and like, if anybody hates it, they're gonna think I'm gonna kill them. Yes, so please don't. I think even at the very end, he says, like in his acknowledgements, it says, lastly, thank you for my readers for your support and enthusiasm. I realize that given this acknowledgement is in a novel about an either author terrorizing a reader, that may sound like a threat, but I promise it's not. Thank you all for reading. I'm so lucky to be able to do that. I mean, I did enjoy it. I flew through it, I'll say that. It was a very quick read. He does that when he, like, his books take place in one night, yes, but he makes it fly through really fast. And I really feel like this could be a good adaptation, like a movie. I feel like it would be a good movie, but overall it just wasn't for me. I think I was thinking it was going to be much more elongated. It was going to be creepier in a way instead of taking place all in one night, and I didn't really like the final reveals all that much. So I would give it a 3 out of 5. It's definitely not the worst thriller I've ever read, that is for sure. It's probably a middle of the road one for me. I liked it, I just didn't love it. I think I was expecting a lot more from it, but nevertheless, the message still stands. Taylor Adams, please don't come after me. Yeah, there you have my reading vlog. I'm gonna have some footage after this because I'm actually going to a movie tonight with my brother. We're seeing the Mario movie, which I am very excited about. I can't tell you the last time I've been excited about a movie because movies these days just, I don't know, don't have the same je ne sais quoi as they usually do, but I am really looking forward to Mario. I mean, I'm not expecting it to be amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm just looking to have a fun time with it. And I figure I have to go with my younger brother because we grew up on Mario. Like, we were 90s kids through and through. I was born in 88, he was born in 92, and our first big ever gaming system was Nintendo 64, and when I said we played it like hardcore. Our favorite games we always played were, of course, Mario Kart, of course, Mario Party. God, I love me some Mario Party. Super Smash Brothers, Donkey Kong, like you name it, we played it. Those were like our favorites of favorites. In fact, we still play Mario Kart to this day together because we're that competitive when it comes to that. Like, I'm not competitive by any stretch of the imagination, but with my younger brother, Mario Kart, it's game on. So I figure I have to go see it with him because it's just gonna be a good nostalgia time, and I'm looking forward to having a fun time. Like, I think I've seen the previews where they show Rainbow Road, and oh my gosh, like I loved Mario. Like, I love Nintendo 64. That will always be my favorite gaming console forever, and I just have so many favorite games. I mean, my favorite level of any game to this day still stands as the mine level in Donkey Kong. If you know, you know. But I'm gonna come back tomorrow to let you know what I thought about it because I just want to share what I thought about it because I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to eating popcorn and watching a movie with my little brother where we both had such a good fond memories of this stuff. It's gonna be a good time. So I'll see you tomorrow with an update on Mario if you want to stick around for that. If not, totally understand. But back tomorrow with my final thoughts on everything when it comes to the movie and the books, and I'll see you then. I was going to be on camera, but I don't look good. So I saw this movie last night, loved it. Like, it is totally catering to kids, and it's totally catering to 90s nostalgia, and I am here for it. It was a pure kids movie through and through. I got to see so many things, and I know they're going to make more movies. They have to. I mean, they need to make Luigi's Haunted Mansion, a movie about
Yoshi, a movie about Waluigi and Wario. Like, there's so many things they could make, but I loved it. 5 out of 5. I cannot wait to make Matt watch it, but it's just really great for kids and also for adults that were kids in the 90s. Like, it was great. So, great week of reading. Overall, my favorite book was for sure Happy Place, but all the other ones I did enjoy. The Last Word was kind of not my favorite, but either way, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.